Alright guys, let's start off here on number 2. So for this one, we're just going to kind of follow the instructions here. So this says f minus h. So I'm just going to take the f function, which you can see is written up here, and I'm going to subtract the h function, which you can see is written right there. So f, I'm just going to rewrite it out here, and then minus parentheses 3x. Now, whenever it's minus, we need to really distribute that into this second parentheses, but since there's only one term, it's only going to switch that one term to a negative. And then this one doesn't have anything out front, so I'm just going to rewrite it. Then lastly, we're just going to combine like terms here. So I have my x squared first. For my regular x's, I have to combine these guys. So I have negative 5x and negative 3x. That makes negative 8x. And then minus 9 goes right there, and that's it. I'm done. All right, next up here, same idea, except you have to just follow the order here. So I'm going to take h, so that's 3x, minus, and then I got f, which is all of this right there. So that's parentheses x squared minus 5x minus 9. And so I'm going to go ahead and distribute this negative in here. So this becomes negative x squared plus 5x plus 9. And this one stays the same this time since that doesn't have anything in front. And now we'll just combine like terms. So I have negative x squared first. And then now I have a positive 3x and a positive 5x makes a positive 8x. And then lastly, I just have a positive 9 here. Or actually, do that in a different color. So just for combining like terms, I'll put the plus 9 in yellow. All right, next up here, you can see that they have switched up the functions on us. So we have new functions. And now we see we're doing multiplication. So I'm going to do f times g. So f is 3x plus 10. And then g is x squared minus 6x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply these together. Whenever I'm multiplying these, I like to use a box. So we're doing a double times a triple. So we'll do a 3 by 2 box. So we get x squared minus 6x minus 2. And then 3x plus 10 over here. I always like to keep my negatives in front of the thing that they are applying to. So now I multiply to fill out the box. So 3x times x squared would be 3x to the third. 3x times negative 6x is negative 18x squared. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. And then 10 times x squared is 10x squared. 10 times negative 6x is negative 60x. And then 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. All right, next up here, we're just going to combine like terms. So I have 3x to the third does not have a like term. I'm going to combine these two. Negative 18x squared and positive 10x squared was negative 8x squared. Negative 6x and negative 60x makes negative 66x, and then negative 20 has nobody to combine with. Oops. All right, next up here, we want to solve these with any method. Now, I see that these ones have a squared and a regular variable, so I always want to get one side to 0. So I'm going to subtract the 42n over. So I have 6n squared minus 42n equals 0. Now I'm going to divide both of these by 6, so I get n squared minus 7n equals 0. And now I'm going to factor out an n. I'm going to do a GCF here, so that's going to look like that. And then I can split these up, so n equals 0 and n minus 7 equals 0. So I'm going to add the 7 over, so n equals 7. And n equals 0. All right, next up, number 10. We'll try to factor this, thinking of two numbers that multiply to negative 10 and add to negative 4. However, no two numbers work, so this doesn't work. It doesn't always work, the factoring, so then I'm going to switch to quadratic formula, which is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I have my a is 1, my b is negative 4, and my c is negative 10. So when b is negative, you're going to switch it to positive out here in the front because it's negative 4, plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 10 for my a and c, all over 2 times 1. And so we get x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 16. And then negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 10 is plus 40 all over 2. So this will turn into 4 plus or minus radical 56 all over 2. So I got to break down radical 56. I know that's even, so it can do, actually, I know this is 7 and 8, so I'm going to break it down as 7 and 8. And then 8 I know is 4 and 2, and then 4 is 2 and 2. So I have twin 2's there. I have a loner 2 and a loner 7 that didn't get broken up anymore. So that's going to mean here that the 2's go outside. They combine though. And then the loner 2 and the loner 7 go back in the house and multiply together. So that's going to give me 14. And then everything else is going to stay the same. And so now I'm going to reduce this using the heart here. They can all divide by 2. So that becomes 2 plus or minus radical 14, and then that's all over 1, but I'm not going to put that. I'm just going to put this. All right, next up, number 12. So on this one, I'm going to get one side to 0 first. So I'm going to subtract that 2n squared over. So I got 4n squared minus 4n minus 15 equals 0. So now we're going to try to factor this. We're going to think of two numbers that multiply to a times c, which is negative 60, and add to negative 4. So that sounds like it's going to be 10 and 6 with a negative 10 there to make that add to a negative. And so I'm going to split this up. I do need to use my grouping technique here since I have the 4n squared out front. So I'll go ahead and write that there. And then I'm going to group them up. The first group I can take out a 2n, which leaves me with 2n minus 5. The second group I can take out a positive 3, which will leave me with 2n minus 5 as well. So then I have 2n plus 3, 2n minus 5, and actually the order does not matter on that, equals 0. And now I can split them up and set them equal to 0.